Alrighty, well, this is my 1993 XR100. I just finished building it, and I've actually had it for about 4 years now. And it's been one of those kind of builds where you go into motivation and then you lose it and keep going back and forth with it for a little bit until it's finally done, or you finally get the motivation just to finish it. So, I mean, the reason it took me so long was just because the bodywork and the suspension I'm running. But anyways, I originally traded an iPhone 5 for it, and straight trade, freaking berserk, and I got a pink slip, which I am absolutely shocked about. But it wasn't the greatest looking when I picked it up. Half the plastics were missing and all that stuff, but the motor was there, and it supposedly ran. I didn't start it because in the picture it had a carburetor. When I got it, it didn't. I was trusting the guy, but when I took it all apart to put the big bore in it, everything looked really nice. So I was like, okay, I'm not tripping on it. So anyways, 1993 XR100, and I got the TB parts 120 big bore in it, along with the TB parts VM26 manifold, and then the VM26 Mikuni carburetor as well. Thing freaking runs amazing, and I just bolted it up, and honestly, I don't even think I have to play with jetting, so it's pretty crazy. I don't know how, but it's awesome. So anyways, I got, so for the motor stuff, the TB big bore, and then the carb, I got a BBR rev box in it, all brand new electronics because the old stuff was kind of roached. And then I got the Yoshimura TRS Enduro Series exhaust. It does say it fits a 01 up. Like I said, this is a 93, so I had to chop them out for basically right over here for the plastics, but I'm running CRF 70 plastic, so I had to make new mounts and get that stuff all welded up anyway, so turned out really freaking sweet. But for the suspension, I'm running 1995 CR80 forks along with the brake, and then the triple clamps as well. Did a bunch of research on it, and some guys were saying you could convert the stem, chop it out, re-weld in the proper one that fits the stem for the XR. So got that done, and that's kind of what took me a while, because I personally don't have a welder, but a couple of my buddies do, and they were just lagging on it. Love you guys, but thank you again for doing it. But yeah, so that's kind of what took me so long. But so CR80 forks, and as for the rear, I'm running a Von Cat rear shock, heavy duty adjustable rear shock with an RH Moto Works little link that raises the rear end about, I don't know, probably like an inch or so, inch and a half. Kind of pairs it with the front. I got to scoot the forks up a little bit in the clamp still, but yeah, so cleaned up the motor, painted the head red, all that stuff. I am extremely stoked on it. Running a disc rear brake as well. That was a lot of tinkering and looking around, but finally got something that worked. So for the rear fender, as you can see, I had to get some mounts welded up in there and all that. For the seat as well, but yeah, man, this thing's freaking crazy. It runs so good. As for the wheels, I'm running a 17-14 wheel setup as well. Some eBay wheels that I was pretty skeptical about originally, but they turned out to be pretty sweet. I just had to swap out the wheel bearings to the 12mm ones to fit the forks and all the other good stuff. But yeah, that pretty much completes it. I know I'm letting some stuff go, but definitely forgetting a couple things. But got the TB bars that raises it a little bit. Feels pretty dang good in my opinion. I'm about 6 foot, so that to just the whole geometry position, sitting position of the bike just feels really nice. Does not feel like an XR100, so it feels more like a 150R to be honest. But yeah, I'm very excited on how it turned out, and I just can't wait to rip this thing around more. I think it's gonna be a freaking blast out in the desert, the trails, or the mountains, or just around here. And extremely stoked on it. Got some eBay special oil cooler mounted right up. Got a BBR frame cradle, the shifter, some bougie pegs. Waiting on the BBR chain guide right now. But also with this carb setup, it says you can't run the stock airbox, but I somehow made that work, so yup, pretty stoked on it. Thing's freaking ripping, and looks like a mini 150R, honestly, so very stoked on how it turned out. But yeah, a little bit deep into this thing, but remember, I traded an iPhone for it, so everything I bought for it is kind of just, you know, what I put into it. So I think it's a win-win, and never gonna sell this thing unless, you know, the price is right. But you know, XR100s are those kind of bikes where you just want to hold on to them forever, because anyone can ride them, you know, kids, you, fathers, moms, grandpa, grandma, sister, brother, all that shit. So yeah, extremely stoked. And funny thing, my mom also said that she wants to ride this, which she has no riding experience, so I'm kind of frightened, but I think she'll do all right. Wrap her in bubble wrap. Anyways, this is my 93 XR100, and definitely doesn't look like one anymore, but there's this too, pretty cool. Just so you guys believe me, 1993 XR100R. Yep, I'm excited for the future.